Mary Queen of Scots' father, James V, had been imprisoned by his stepfather, Archibald Douglas, the 6th Earl of Angus, for over 2 years when he was a teenager. James grew to hate Douglas, and when he finally came of age and was able to rule Scotland by himself, he began to exact his revenge upon not only his stepfather, but the entire Douglas family. He immediately exiled Archibald as well as other members of his immediate family. He confiscated their lands and absolutely forbade any communication with any Douglas he had exiled. Janet Douglas was his stepfather's sister. She was also the wife of the 6th Lord of Glamis, who owned this castle. Their marriage was a happy one, which produced 4 children. When Janet was 30, her husband, Lord Glamis, died. And now that her husband was no longer alive, she had lost all the protection that her marriage had offered her. James wanted possession of Glamis Castle, which would now be the inheritance of her son. James first accused Janet of treason, of which she was ultimately never prosecuted for. He then accused her of poisoning her late husband. The case never went to court as her peers refused to act as jurors, knowing that the case had no merit. James made several more attempts to take legal action against Janet. He accused her of witchcraft, and he threw her in prison. He then had her family and attendants tortured in order to gain evidence against her until finally, in 1537, Janet was convicted of trying to poison the king, as well as communicating to her outlaw brothers. Janet's sentence was to be burned alive at the stake on the hill at Edinburgh Castle on July 17th, 1537. Her teenage son was forced to stand and watch his mother's death. James seized Glamis Castle, and it remained in the crown's control until his death. In 1542, the castle was finally restored to Lady Janet's son, John, the 7th Earl of Glamis. Her ghost is said to haunt the castle and has appeared kneeling in the chapel at the altar. It is also said that there is a seat reserved just for her that no one else is allowed to sit in to this day.